back to the Craft Parenting Podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. My name is Joe Ludwig, and with me is my lovely wife and co-host, Caroline. Caroline, we have been absent a couple of days.
But I feel like we have a really good excuse. All four of us have gotten sick, and it has been four very different sicks. Lily had a really bad cough and a high fever for a few days. You had a high fever with, nothing else. I don't know. I have some weird congestion thing that just started yesterday. And Elliot popped a fever last night. And that's, he is Elliot with the fever. Literally no other symptoms. So I don't even know if we all have the same thing.
He has a cough, too.
Well, he literally has coughed 2 times since I put him to bed.
He's coughed a lot more than that.
Okay, 10 times. But when I was in the bedroom with him, he wasn't coughing at all. Focus.
Okay, I'm focusing.
Beer. Everybody got sick, but we're back. And we will drink somewhere between 2 and 5 beers tonight. We will see.
Don't tell them that. It's a mystery about when we drink the beers.
Ooh, mystery.
So we are on a journey this month, or we were supposed to be.
I mean, we're still on that journey. We're just a little bit behind. It's fine. Everybody finishes at their own pace.
I'm just going to leave that there.
I haven't even had a sip of this beer yet.
I'm trying to talk, and you're making innuendos.
And you're endo. You did that on purpose. I'm going to drink this beer now.
We're on a journey. We're doing the higher gravity Beervent calendar, and we might be a little punchy. We just spent the last hour trying to put our kids to bed.
Yeah.
So we are on day 13.
Yes, that is what the doc says.
And this is an exciting one because it is Esoteric Brewing, Peebles Advent, Imperial Coffee Porter. Oh my God. Imperial Coffee Porter with toasted coconut. And it is a special release specifically for the higher gravity Beervent calendar. Although I've seen rumors and rumblings, although this is quite a few days late, that I think it's on tap, or it was on tap at the brewery.
Yeah, because sometimes what they'll do is, if they've got enough left over, they'll throw it in kegs at the brewery.
I believe there were some, I don't know if it was on draft or what, but it was also at higher gravity, I think.
Nice.
But it was very limited. But I wrote some notes down.
I will say the words, because Joe is having issues saying the words. So a little bit about Esoteric Brewing. Their vision is to craft a beer with such integrity that it has a profound social impact. That's why they brew with pure ingredients, sourced locally and grown organically, in order to craft a beer with such integrity that it has a profound social impact. We're here to elevate your palate and create a sumptuous experience that will change your relationship with beer. Craft beer should be as elegant as fine wine. That's why our master brewer spent years honing his craft, paying homage to traditional Belgian, English, German, and American styles made with old world character. This specific beer, which is in a very fancy green can, says that it has scents of roasted coffee on the nose as flavors of rich chocolate, coffee, and sweet coconut cover the palate. Happy holidays! Hops included are Bugle and Nugget, and the malts, oh man, there's a lot. Pale Munich chocolate, flaked barley, extra special, and black malt. And on the label it says brewed specially for higher gravity. So, it is one of those can only get through Beervent or in a tap room beers.
It's very tasty.
I'm getting a lot of coffee. I'm not necessarily getting as much of the chocolate and the coconut. I also can't breathe through half of my nose. So, this is a great time to be a beer taster.
I get a little bit of the coconut on the back end. It's not overpowering at all, but the coffee, it's definitely coffee flavored beer. Mm-hmm. Or coffee infused beer, whatever you want to call it. Did you say the ABV?
Oh, no, it is 8% ABV.
Yeah, so it's a bigger beer. the previous episode, I guess, we did some easygoing beers, like lagers, like 5%, 4% range. So this is a much bigger beer than that. This is also a 12-ounce can. I really like it, actually.
I do too.
I don't believe I've had Esoteric beer before. I've heard a lot about it.
I'm not sure we have.
But yeah, this is phenomenal. Definitely a sipper. So, is there anything else you wanted to say?
Well, so I'm wondering where they got their coffee from. Because it's Peebles Advent, so I was wondering if they got it from somewhere in Peebles, Ohio, but there's nothing called, like, Peebles Coffee in Peebles, Ohio. I just wanted to know, because usually they'll say, like, partner with some coffee company that they got their beans from.
In their description, they say they try to locally source their ingredients.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting call out. I'm sure they say it somewhere. It's just not on the can.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
Yeah, so on the back of the can, it calls out, 12 ounces, 8% ABV. Like, it has a little grid on it. It tells you what the hops are, what the malts are. It doesn't go into where the coffee's from, though. That's interesting. That's probably because the graphic designer didn't want to... It's an uneven amount of spaces. So
yeah.
They didn't want to...
Change their format.
Change the format, yeah. I'm sure they say somewhere, though, where the coffee's from. Or maybe it's just a blend of whatever. And it's not important.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's possible.
You can only source what you can source, and make it economical and all that, so.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to know, though. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, it's a good beer. I'd drink it again.
I would definitely grab a 6-pack or a 12-pack of this. 2 6-packs.
Oh, they have a Peebles Porter. I'm betting that's where the Peebles comes from. Because it's an Imperial Porter with toasted coconut. And this is an Imperial Coffee Porter with toasted coconut. So they took their Peebles beer and added to it. Or their Peebles Porter. This makes sense now. Google for the win.
I mean, that's what Listerman did with their father. I forget what it's called.
It was the cinnamon roll. Father Kyle's cinnamon roll. Coconut cinnamon roll or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they just took the base recipe and they added coconut to it.
Yes. So they have a Peebles Porter.
Esoteric took the base of their porter and added coffee to it.
Yes. It's okay. We mildly answered the question, but didn't answer the question.
Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Nope. Now let's finish this and then figure out what day 14 is.
Day 14, here we come.
Woohoo!
Welcome back to another episode of the Craft Parenting Podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. I'm going to just do this for every episode because...
They never left. This is still the same episode.
Depends on the producer, how he's feeling.
Okay.
I'm Joe, you're Caroline. We are going through the Higher Gravity Beervent calendar. Higher Gravity is a bottle shop in Cincinnati. We are on day 14 of the Beervent calendar.
Yes.
And this one is another big beer.
Whoop whoop.
Dark, roasty. It is by Floyds. It is called Alpha Klaus.
It is a Christmas porter. And it is 7.3% ABV. So a little bit about Floyds Brewing. They are a Midwestern brewery dedicated to crafting a wide and, quote, not normal, end quote, range of quality ales and lagers. Since our founding in 1996 by Nick Floyd, we have been brewing uncompromising and full-flavored beers for a range of tastes. With a constant eye toward sound technical brewing practices, we use ingredients from around the world to bring you the best artisanal, innovative, and fresh beers we can.
Floyds is a very famous brewery. Middle of nowhere, Indiana.
Munster, Indiana.
I don't even know where that's like middle of nowhere, right?
Let me Google that for you.
That's city, town's claim to fame.
It really, so I started to type in Munster, and Google autofilled for me Munster, Indiana Brewery, and immediately pulled up Three Floyds.
Where it's is it like by Notre Dame, like that area?
It's outside of Chicago. It's closer to Chicago than Gary, Indiana is.
Where's Notre Dame at? Notre Dame's up there somewhere.
Probably.
You toured you toured
No,
Purdue.
I toured Purdue.
Purdue. Okay. I'm thinking of Purdue. Sorry.
It is not near Notre Dame. Because my phone it's the opposite side of Indiana from Notre Dame.
Okay, so it's outside of Chicago.
It's outside of Chicago.
Chicagoland. Okay. So not middle of nowhere.
I mean, I would even argue that it's like the middle of greater Chicagoland. Or like greater Chicagoland. It's like what like Sons of Toil to Cincinnati. Like, it's not super close to Cincinnati, but it's in like the greater Cincinnati area.
Okay.
Because it's here and Chicago's there, and that's like greater Chicagoland area. This visual is great for
this media,
the podcast.
Yeah. But Three Floyds is famous for the famous zombie dust.
Yes, they are famous for their zombie dust.
Which I don't know that I've had zombie dust.
I'm not sure that we have either. I'm sure at some point we have had some.
Did Marco give me zombie dust when I was podcasting with them? Was that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wasn't there.
I'm sorry if I don't remember. Maybe I really don't like those kind of beers. I like these kind of beers, pointing to Alpha Klaus, which is what we're drinking. It's a Christmas porter. It's dark, roasty.
And their description is Alpha King's festive cousin, a big American Xmas porter brewed with English chocolate malt, Mexican sugar, and, of course, lots of strange American hops. And it is pretty hoppy. Like, even though I can't breathe through half my nose, I can totally get a bunch of hops.
It smells really good, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about the sugar. Is that just the priming sugar?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's just more food for the yeast?
Do big breweries like Three Floyds use priming sugar for their bottles? This is one of the few bottles, by the way, that we've had in the higher gravity box.
Well, it's one of two so far.
Two that I can recall, yeah. The other one was the Belgian. I can kind of smell the sugar, though. Maybe.
Yeah, the description on the can is the same as the description on their website. It's available from October to December.
I took the description from the website.
Well, it's the same as the one on the bottle. Bottle, website, doc are all the same. It doesn't say anything more about the sugar.
Okay. It's curious, though. It makes it smell a little sweet.
I guess so. Again, I can only smell through like half my nose right now.
So we poured it out a few minutes ago, and I still see a noticeable head.
Mm-hmm.
Appearance.
It's like a tan head.
Yeah. Appearance is very dark black.
Yeah, I'm drinking this out of a printed glass, so it's hard to do the light test. But yours looks pretty dark. Cannot see light through it.
Cannot see light through it. Very dark. Very tasty, roasty, hoppy. Not overly hoppy like, an IPA might be.
Yeah.
Although we've had IPAs in the box that were like triple hop, dry hopped.
Triple dry hopped.
Yeah, that were super
IPA.
smooth.
Yeah.
So,
shout out to Hoof Hearted again.
Yeah, very delicious beer.
I drink this again.
Yeah, this is a good one. I haven't had a lot of Floyds.
No,
like I said, Zombie Dust is probably the one that comes to mind. I don't think I've had it. I don't do the check-in beer thing, so I can't go and check my records or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've had a Three Floyds beer.
Well, I've definitely had Three Floyds beer. I just don't remember what it was or when it was.
Oh yeah.
I'm like 75% certain.
You would be more likely to order something from Three Floyds. I feel like they're known for like hoppy stuff.
Yeah.
Zombie Dust was something that was super sought after, kind of like Bourbon County, kind of like Founders. What is it called? Breakfast? Is it just breakfast stout?
Yeah, they've got the Founders Breakfast Stout, but then they also have the Kentucky Breakfast Stout.
Is it just called breakfast? I thought it was called something specifically.
No, I think it's just Kentucky Breakfast Stout.
Well, anyway, they increased their production, and I think it's just available everywhere, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I don't care either way."
Yeah.
But this beer in particular, very tasty. Should we talk about the bottle art? There's a kind of demonic like creature.
It's like it's like a mix of Krampus and Santa. If Santa was a demon.
Red eyes, sharp teeth, beard, a long beard. So I guess he's kind of trying to be Santa, hence Alpha Claus. Is he carrying a sword?
Maybe a guitar. At one point I thought it was a guitar, but that looks like no, that's like a axe.
An axe, some kind of weapon. He's in like battle armor.
Yeah.
He's like front and center, but then the words are in a circle around him.
Yeah. He's definitely got some gnarly fingers and is holding some kind of weapon in his left hand.
And in between the words it says, "It's not normal." I guess that's Three Floyds is like slogan or something.
That seems to be the thing.
It's not normal. And then it says Christmas Porter, and then it has the Three Floyds logo. So this is a 12-ounce bottle. Cool artwork.
Yeah. Good beer. Would drink again.
Hey everyone. Joe and Caroline from the Craft Parenting Podcast are here. We are going through day 15 of the Higher Gravity Beervent calendar from 2022. And this one is a very different beer than the last two.
A little bit.
It is
just a little bit.
It is a black IPA.
This is great after you have some peanut butter chip ice cream as a palate cleanser.
It's a weird flex, but tell the people what we are drinking.
So we are drinking an Ethereal Void from Unseen Creatures Brewery and Blending in Miami, Florida. The ABV is 6.66%. The same as that Duvel beer. And it's very specific.
It is. And the artwork on this can is very dark.
Well, it's the ethereal plane. So you've got like a wolf and a owl hanging out in the sky where their skeleton is like coming out of their body because ethereal plane stuff.
Is that when your spirit sees your body? Like you have an out-of-body experience?
Yeah, kind of like that.
I didn't understand. I don't understand ethereal, but I guess I get that. Out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So, you took notes. So where are they from?
I did. So they're from Miami, Florida. So this is our second brewery from Miami, Florida. I mean, Esoteric was our second or third or fifth brewery from Cincinnati. At least third. But memory, hard, dates, impossible with small children. But I know for sure this is our second one out of Miami because we had the Punch It Chewy. That was also based out of Miami. But that was a throw in at the last minute beer because stuff would explode.
Stuff from Indiana would explode.
Yeah.
Stupid Hoosiers.
Hoosiers. So about the brewery, they are farmhouse inspired. Through the use of locally foraged yeast and bacteria, they're unseen creatures, fruit and other local ingredients, we consistently strive to create beers that are inherently Miami, expressing terroir and telling the story of our environment and culture through time and place. And they also have balance and drinkability. Refreshing, sessionable, and hop-forward beers all have their place within our farmhouse-inspired philosophy. At Unseen Creatures, we're less concerned with style guidelines and more concerned with brewing beers that push limits, all while focusing on balance and drinkability. So, they didn't have anything on their website about when they were founded, but January 15th, 2022, they had their 2-year anniversary, so I'm assuming they started at some point in January in 2020. It's like the middle of the pandemic.
It's a tough time to start a business.
Yeah, a very tough time.
The can says, drink fresh.
Fresh?
The can says, drink fresh.
We've had beers.
Drink responsibly. We are at home. Please recycle. So it says drink fresh, but I don't see any canned by date.
Bum, bum, bum. I am thoroughly inspecting the can.
The truth is out there.
I also do not see a can date anywhere on this. Now, I will say sometimes, like if they pack this in a 4-pack or a 6-pack, they will only code 1 or 2 of the cans in that 4-pack or 6-pack. So maybe we didn't get the can with the code. But also, like, if you're going to code your cans, just code all of them. Because how often do you keep a 6-pack together and drink the whole 6-pack at the same time?
I don't know.
Code your cans.
Quality control over here.
Yeah. And the only description that I could find on it was black IPA, hoppy and toasted.
It is definitely that.
Definitely hoppy and toasty.
So it's
and black.
It is black in appearance, hence the name Black IPA. It's hoppy.
So all 3 of the beers in this episode are going to be very dark beers. We've had a coffee porter. We had
Christmas porter.
The Christmas porter. And now we have a Black India Pale Ale with Elliot chilling in the background. Our executive producer wanted to get some words in.
Hopefully not. Holding my breath. I'm just super nervous about his cough right now.
Because Lily had a really bad cough for a while.
He's younger. I don't know that they'll give him antibiotics, will they?
Probably not.
I don't know. They might. I don't. So I've never really had a black IPA. Like, I don't seek these out. I know that it's a controversial style.
Not as controversial as cold IPAs.
Yeah. But it's definitely drinkable. Like, it's kind of like a gateway IPA, I guess you would call it. So you're not licking a Christmas tree. It's not Celebration by Sierra Nevada, which is literally you're licking a Christmas tree.
Yes.
That's your description, right?
I believe so.
I think at one of the Donna Schwaben Christmas Schuhplattler Christmas parties.
Oh, I drank so much.
That's all we drank. was Celebration by Sierra Nevada.
No. That was oh my goodness. Like, I can picture the tap handle. I don't remember what it was. That was definitely not Sierra Nevada. It was something from Colorado.
Was it Breckenridge?
Maybe?
I thought it was Celebration.
No.
It was a hoppy IPA Christmas ale. Whatever it was. I thought it was Celebration.
It might have just been the Breckenridge No, because I feel like it was Breckenridge.
What's the percentage on that? Because what I'm thinking of, it was like 10%.
Are we about to fight?
I remember that a certain colleague of ours got super sick.
Oh, I wasn't there that year. The year you're talking about, I wasn't there because I was at a Girl Scout camp out. Winter beer.
No, you were there.
It's gonna. Was it a W? Did it start with Did the brewery start with a W? This is gonna bug me now. Like,
what are you talking about?
It was not Sierra Nevada Celebration.
If you weren't there, what are you talking about?
There was a beer that we had at club like 2 winters in a row, and it tasted like you were licking a Christmas tree. And it was not Sierra Nevada's Celebration. Because I don't... Let me Google their tap handle.
Pretty sure it was. Three days later, Joe was right.
No, it was definitely not that tap handle.
Let me see it. It totally was. Celebration?
No.
That's like from old. That's like super old.
Joe, we're super old now. All the co-ops that I work with can drink. But one of our techs can't because he's only 20. He's a baby.
Agree to disagree. What was the point? Because you lost me.
You were talking about the beer that tasted like you were licking a Christmas tree.
This beer doesn't taste like you're licking a Christmas tree. It does have, it's very hop forward, but it has the roastiness of like a stout or a porter. It's basically just a hoppy porter. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure there's some technical jargon that makes it technically an IPA. But you could compare this to maybe a hoppy Christmas porter.
Yeah.
Which I think multiple breweries do. This is probably more hoppy than that, but I said you can compare them. Perhaps, if you wanted to.
Maybe.
Not my go-to style. I'm glad I tried it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to try new things.
I don't hate it.
Well, I mean, it's not the style that we typically go for.
You might more than me. I mean, Westside makes a black IPA.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would go out and order this somewhere if I was getting, like, a taster glass, maybe a pint. But I probably wouldn't want to drink this all night.
Yeah, taster glass for sure. Pint, 6-pack. Not my style. The thing I like about Higher Gravity's Beervent calendar is that you get to try new beers risk-free, or relatively risk-free. I mean, obviously you pay for it, but you're not paying for a 6-pack, right?
Correct.
You are paying for a single, and then we're sharing them, so if I hate it...
We can always trade these.
Yeah. So, I think I gave myself a little more of these. What is this? Maybe it was Breckenridge. Okay.
Ha! I told you. And we have it on recording.
I don't know. Vintage Breckenridge Brewery Christmas Ale beer handle.
Because we're old, they're saying that it's vintage, even though this was like 2017.
Was it?
It would have had to have been. Oh, no. It might even been like 2013. Because I swear I had a Girl Scout troop.
I would say it was 2013. It was before they were bought out.
It was definitely before they were bought out, because I got real sad when they got bought out. It was totally Breckenridge Christmas Ale, and suck it.
Okay, but he bought Celebration as well. Because I've had both.
I am not denying that you have had both. I'm saying the one that tasted like you were licking a Christmas tree was Breckenridge.
Maybe we're talking about two different things.
Apparently. But I was right. So suck it.
No, we were both right.
I was more right. Have you not seen the flow chart on how to determine who was right between a husband and wife?
I'm guessing I know how it flows.
I have a PowerPoint presentation to show you when we're done recording.
You should take a screenshot and post it to our Instagram. No context. Maybe I'll just cut all this out, and therefore I'm right.
Good night, Joe.
Good night, Joe. Are we doing one more or no?
Probably not, because it's going to wreck my palate. Because I only have half a palate to begin with. Because explained earlier in episode. Do you want to do another one?
I'm going to get it out of the way.
Okay, we can do another one.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Keg stands.
I'm going to tell Joe who's right during this brief commercial pause.
We'll be right back. Maybe.
After this break.
Alright, so...
So, Joe,
explain.
I want to tell you about how awesome the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife is. A while ago, they posted a tweet of, I want to say it's like a puma or a bobcat, and it says, "You are cold. They have fur."
Does the bobcat have a bobsled team?
It does not have a bobsled team.
Okay.
But basically, you are cold. They have fur. Do not let inside.
It's bobsled
If
time.
not safe, why cat? Are some of the responses. My favorite is, "But it is cat. I want to pet cat. Please?" And then the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife responds with a gif of Ron Swanson saying, "No."
It's very serious.
And then somebody responded with a image that says, "Oh, it's a mountain lion. It's a mountain lion." They're sending a picture of a mountain lion. I don't live in Oklahoma. I don't know what's in Oklahoma. Apparently it's mountain lions. Where somebody says a picture of a mountain lion and they have memed it and it says, "If I'm ever killed by a mountain lion, just know my last words were, 'Here, kitty, kitty.'" To which the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife really likes Ron Swanson, and they send a gif of Ron Swanson saying, "God help me."
Looks so exasperated.
He does. And they respond to someone named Wendy saying, "Wendy, this is not a cuddle cat. This is a hazard kitten. No inside time."
This is how our government talks to people.
And then somebody said, "Okay, what if you already let in the mountain lion?"
You're screwed.
Basically.
Okay, so this is the Craft Parenting Podcast, part 4, I guess. 4.5, depending on how the producer feels.
I don't know. When's the producer going to actually put this out?
Produce, I don't know. This is the Higher Gravity Beervent Calendar Day 16 recap. And Caroline, tell the fine people what we are drinking.
We are drinking Bhramari Brewing in collaboration with the Mayan Melipona Bee Sanctuary Project, Ceremonial Apiary. A sour ale with black walnut, hibiscus, Melipona honey, and Madagascar vanilla bean.
Okay.
It's one vanilla bean because it says Madagascar vanilla bean, not beans. So they only used one bean for this whole batch.
Okay.
Though I get a lot of vanilla off the beer, so I doubt that. But the can says there's only one bean.
Maybe they think bean is
A
It's like deer.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look, a deer. Oh, hey, look, deer. Or, oh, deer, a deer.
Now you're just getting complicated. Okay.
So, the brewery is located in Asheville, and their tagline is chef-inspired food chef-inspired beer and beer-inspired food. So it's the big cyclical thing. They are creative, whimsical, delicious. Bhramari Brewing Company was dreamt up to be a creative collection of artists sharing their knowledge with each other to build something bigger than any could build by themselves. And they are located in Asheville, and our home on Asheville's South Slope, the original brew pub, is buzzing with activity. We have a constant rotation of beer, seltzer, and guest taps pouring from our 26 taps. We also offer wine and liquor and our lineup of unique dishes crafted to complement our pints. This is making me hungry. That and the 1.5 beers that I had before this.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
I was very skeptical about this beer.
I'm a huge fan.
Just because it says sour on it.
And it says drink immediately, but I can't read the can date. There's a pink dot of ink like they tried, but I do not see a canned on date on here, so I don't know what immediately is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like the Star Wars beer.
No, it's not super sour. There was somebody in one of the Facebook groups saying they weren't a fan of this beer, and I was like, oh, it's going to be like super sour then. And it definitely is not.
The Star Wars beer was like pucker lip. I think that was like day 4 or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. It was very early. It was like you mentioned it before.
It was day 4. Yeah, because it was one of the first episode. It was the first episode that we did, so it was one of those first 5 beers, and it was day 4. Because day 5 was the Erdinger.
Yeah, so that one was like puckered lips, sour. This is just a little sour. It's very, it tastes carbonated. Like it tastes really bubbly, kind of like a seltzer, but it doesn't have a head. I can definitely get the hibiscus and the vanilla. The hibiscus probably because I drink a lot of herbal tea.
Yeah. A
lot of the herbal tea I drink has hibiscus in it, so I'm familiar with that taste. I can definitely taste the vanilla, like I said.
The walnuts are a little bit of an interesting choice. I'm not sure how I feel about them.
Can you physically taste the walnut?
I feel like I can taste something nutty, and walnuts are a type of nut.
It's a very interesting combination for sure.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the honey... I don't think I can taste the flavor necessarily of the honey. Honey's an interesting combination with a beer because when you brew beer, depending on when you add the honey, it just boils off and it adds the sugar or whatever. You don't really taste it.
Yeah.
It just adds to the sugar content, which adds to the ABV. You might get a little bit of that flavor, but it doesn't really add a whole lot, depending on how it's brewed. Do you get any honey flavor specifically?
No, not really. Based on their description, it sounds like a lot of their stuff involves honey. Because our beers are brewed with the concept of our hive mind collaborative, which is like bee.
I do get a nutty flavor at the back end.
Their hard seltzer is bong water. BHONG.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely get the nuttiness at the end of that.
And I'm not sure how I feel about it.
I don't know what black walnut is.
Oh my goodness, sorry. It's just a type of walnut.
It's very specific. So then there's a little bit of, like, what would you call it, tartness to it.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of that pucker, but it's definitely not super sour.
So I don't hate this. It's a very interesting beer. Like, coming up with the different ingredients. I know vanilla bean in particular is very expensive.
Yeah. And
to come up with that combination, it's just very interesting and just super creative. I would probably try a pint of this. Like, if you were to present me with this, like, on a tap room, maybe not a pint, maybe a taster, it would pique my interest.
Oh, I'd for sure order this off a beer list.
Like, what? Walnut, vanilla, hibiscus? Like, what is this? Honey? But you said all their beers pretty much have honey.
I'm not sure. They use a lot of, I mean, their logo is a bee, and they use a lot of bee flavor, flavor text. A little bit about the Mayan Melipona.
Because it's a collab, right?
Yeah. So the Mayan Melipona honeybee tending tradition dates back 3,200 years. That's 3,200. The disappearing Melipona bees and sacred Mayan methods are presently being restored and passed down to future generations through your generous donation. Our sweet dream is to boost severely declining bee populations by bringing bees to 5 villages per year from 2022 to 2027. With funding and infrastructure, we can create pollinator corridors with sustainable bee sanctuaries, preserving traditional cultural practices for the future. So that's a little bit about the bee sanctuary that they partner with.
Yeah. And did you say the ABV?
I don't believe that I did.
The ABV is 6.9%. This is a 16-ounce can. And the can is very interesting. It has kind of like a water painting type drawing on it. Mm-hmm. I guess it's a bee.
Yes, that is a bee.
So where's the head? Is it
there? Going? Wings, head, so abdomen, thorax.
It's just not a tat. Well, this kind of looks like a bee too. Kind of weird. So it's like a watercolor like painting of a bee with like a blotchy background, orange brown background, and then of course it has the logos of the brewery and the sanctuary. And on the side it says, as you said, drink immediately, keep cold.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say
when it was canned. And not all of their beers are made with honey. As far as I can tell. But they do have a goza called And So It Goza. I love it. It's so punny.
I mean, you have to. You have to be punny.
You really do.
It's a requirement, I feel like. I feel like the honeyness, I said I couldn't directly taste the honeyness, but I feel like how smooth it goes down is because of the honey.
Probably.
You can't necessarily taste honey. Like if I went in the cabinet and I grabbed a spoonful of honey, it's not going to be like that direct taste. This beer doesn't have that direct taste.
Yeah.
As a spoonful of honey. But you can kind of feel the honey, like the after effects of the honey.
Yes, I would concur with that.
Because, as mentioned previously, I feel like I'm talking in circles, but
you are, but it's okay.
As previously mentioned, honey is usually, at least in our experience as previous home brewers, we added the honey pre-boil, and we boiled it off. So you don't really get the flavor, you just get the sugar.
Yeah. Sidebar, they have a double dry hopped IPA that is called Chainsaw Panda, and the artwork is on point. I need this beer in my life because it is a panda wearing overalls holding a chainsaw.
If that isn't Asheville, I don't know what is.
Because they have like every beer that they've ever made, and the can art, or just can art, bottle art, or just like general art for it on their website. So I'm scrolling through that now.
I'm really digging the vanilla though in this. I think the vanilla saves it from the nuttiness.
Yeah, the vanilla definitely helps balance it out a lot.
Otherwise, it would be a little weird. And as I drink it, I don't really taste the hibiscus as much. It's just more vanilla, So it changes as I drink it.
Yeah, it's definitely changing as we're going. Maybe it's because it's getting warmer. Maybe it's because my tongue is getting used to it. Though my tongue is having issues talking. I'm going to blame that on the fact that I can't smell.
Well, is there anything else you want to say about this beer or this brewery or the bee collaboration?
Let's get some effing French toast. Is another one of their beers.
I don't get that pun.
It's not, I don't, it was a very interesting beer name. They also have a beer called Live, Laugh, Love. I need to go to bed. This has been fun. We should definitely do this more often.
Well, I mean, we have 2 more beers this weekend, plus all next week.
This is true. We hit the halfway mark with this episode as far as number of beers that we're drinking. Because 25 means that 12 and a half is our halfway point.
12 and a half is the halfway point.
Yep, and we just hit 16.
And we are caught up as of
Friday, December 16th.
Well, I mean, we have about 15 minutes until we are not caught up.
This is true. Does this mean that we're drinking another beer today? Because I really need to go to bed.
No, because it's not cold.
This is true.
If you like what you hear, leave us a 5-star review on Apple iTunes, or if your podcatcher of choice has that option, we would appreciate that as well.
Share the show with your family and friends. It is what helps us grow. If you like these shorter, beer-specific episodes, let us know. I'm down with them. Are you? Let me know.
Who are you talking to?
The listener.
Okay. You were acting like I was supposed to answer.
No, that's me talking to the lovely listener.
Okay.
I'm at Caroline Creates Crafts. You are at Craft Parenting Joe on Instagram. I am always right. You are sometimes wrong. Have a wonderful whatever time of day it is. Wherever you are.
We have a website.
We have a website. We have a Facebook page. You can get more info there. Like, follow, subscribe.
And we will be back. Hot Mess Express.
Choo-choo!
Whenever our kids get better.
They have a beer with the Kool-Aid, with a Kool-Aid-esque man on it. And it's called Oh No.
Okay, bye.
Bye. The little fox is trapezing through the mountains that include your head. You were recording when I said that, weren't you?
I think I was. Esoteric?
Esoteric. That was... You have to leave that one in now. You have heard multiple podcasts talk about esoteric brewing.